The massive stone gate was slowly closing, but their companion inside was already exhausted. A dozen people stood there, not a single one daring to help. Only this reckless newcomer, heedless of the danger, forced his way in at the very last moment before the gate shut. Yet, despite giving his all to save the other, all he received in return was mockery.
Good job. You just killed yourself. What?
Miho's words were not an exaggeration. This was a massive, ever-shifting maze. Everyone had been trapped inside for 3 full years, yet they had never found a way out. Every evening, the stone gate would close, only to reopen the following morning. No one had ever survived a single night inside, for once the gate closed completely, the monsters within would run rampant. So Thomas and Miho hoisted their injured companion and tried to find a place to hide, but the monsters' screams were getting closer and closer. If they didn't leave their injured companion behind, they would all lose their lives. Just then, however, a vine nearby caught Thomas's eye. He pulled Miho over to help him haul their companion up. Just as they were about to succeed, the wall at the end of the corridor suddenly began to shake. Immediately, a terrifying monster appeared. Miho panicked instantly. If they didn't flee now, the monster would spot them. So he abandoned his companions and turned to run, leaving Thomas alone to hold the line. Fortunately, he managed to hide behind the vines in time, which kept him from drawing the monster's attention. But he was suddenly shocked to discover that the terrifying creature was actually a giant scorpion. Strangely, however, the scorpion's legs were made of metal. Could all of this be man-made? At that moment, Thomas clearly had no time to ponder this. Once the monster had left, he immediately emerged to secure the vines, then turned to leave. Just 2 steps later, disgusting goo dropped from above. This sight terrified Thomas, and he began to flee. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't shake off the monster's pursuit. Soon, he was cornered with no way out. Thomas decided to take a running jump over it. After a chase, Thomas used the vines to trap the monster. Miho, who had been running away, suddenly returned, grabbed Thomas, and they continued their escape. They finally reached a corridor that was closing in, but Thomas suddenly stopped in his tracks. It turned out the moving walls had given him a brilliant idea.
What are you waiting for? Get out of there! Come on! Come on, Thomas! Don't look back! Run!
The next morning, the massive stone doors opened again, but the end of the corridor remained completely empty. Everyone began to look disheartened. It seemed Thomas and Miho were dead. However, just as everyone was about to leave, they miraculously reappeared, carrying their injured companion on their backs. Everyone was stunned. Since the day they were sent here, no one had ever survived a single night in the maze. Yet Thomas's return had shattered that legend. The group instantly saw hope in Thomas, but a boy named Gally was furious. As the second in command of the camp, he believed Thomas deserved severe punishment. For the past 3 years, they had coexisted peacefully with the monsters. Although they had never found the exit, they had managed to grow crops in the camp. But now Thomas had killed a monster and disrupted the balance. After all, there was far more than just one monster out there. No one could predict what terrible things might happen. Hearing this, Miho was the first to speak up. He said that in his moment of greatest peril, only Thomas had risked his own life to save him. Not only had he saved him and his injured companion, but he had also killed the monster in the end. Wasn't that spirit exactly what they needed most? Hearing this, Gally flew into a rage. But just then, a strange noise suddenly came from the maze's passageway. When everyone ran over to look, they found a girl lying there, and it seemed she was clutching something in her hand.
She's the last one ever.